You got it?
Yeah.
Did it write account?
Yeah, it's funny. Chov is the Lula of the Levik. The Levik was always very much in Kabbalah. And Kabbalah itself, in the Yukim, and how each word, how each letter represents a specific teichen, a specific idea, acoustic idea. In Torah, every word in Torah, in Gemara, in Tanya, in Zohar, and even in life. There's a shiva that he wrote about himself, about the different, where he was in prison and he was in exile, and how everything fits. His name, everything mamish fits the way things are supposed to be in the mind. The Parshas, the reason why he wrote it is not just that since, it's a tzaddik, whatever happens to a tzaddik is mechuv in the but it's b'chal an attitude. Torah is holy, the Eibush is Torah. So every word is meduyik and it carries a very deep teichen to it. But not just Torah, a yid. Whatever happens to a yid also, wherever place a yid is, whatever happens to a yid, and every single detail is all the Eibush that made it with a specific godly idea in every single detail. So Reb Levi wrote it about Indian of goals, and even there was b'kavona likis. Koshkim v'kavachomer, when it talks about b'chal, whatever happens to a yid, every place he goes to, then although to see things, the way Reb Levi sees things, and to actually see the teichen of the key and everything is a bit hard, or not really in our koyach. But to know that that's the case, that whatever happens to a yid, every single event is from the Eibishter, specifically for him, according to his capabilities, according to what he's supposed to accomplish, And that's how everything happens in the even though a person thinks he does it himself, but the Eibishter runs things, and the Eibishter brings a person to where he needs to be. So if a person has that in mind, it lifts him up. It makes that a person takes less on himself. He's not doing it for himself, based on himself. He knows that the Eibishter is guiding him for a kavanah the Eibishter has in mind, and that's the way. It's a relief. It takes away the weight from his shoulders, and it gives him the ability to focus on it and bring out what's meant to be brought on. Father Leivik, we know him from whatever we know is the Svarim that he wrote in Golus, the Horus that he wrote on the side of the Svarim, which are beyond most people's capacity. Today it's becoming much more reachable with all the Svarim that are explaining it. But before that, to open it up and to figure it out, and how to cope and to realize what he's saying, is very, very difficult. And it would seem that it's like someone that's a bit above things. They're not really down to earth, not really with the people. That totally wasn't the case. Rabbi Leivik was a Rav of a city, had a very hard time, and he had very simple people in his town. And he related to them very, very well. All the stories that are brought out, was written out how he dealt with them, he dealt with them very well. And the Rebbe writes that in the order about Chov has to do with the Gemara, and Chov was a special day that a specific family brought korban eitzim. It was a time that it wasn't enough wood in the Bayis Sheni, in the beginning of Bayis Sheni. So specific families donated wood, and then once they had already more means and whatever, they had enough wood, those families kept the Yom Tov to bring the wood and the korban on that specific day. So Chov was a machlokes which family it was. Pachas Moyav or we got the other one, Ben Yehuda, two families of Yehuda. And the Rebbe explains that really it was one family that descended from Yoav and from David, from two different sides. And the question was, whose schus was it that they were able to bring the korban on that day? The eitzim on that day. What's the big schus? The big schus is, because Chov was already after, you don't cut wood for the Mizbeach, because it becomes a bit cooler. Toshash Keicha Shel Chama, it's not so hot, so the wood won't be so dry. So they had to cut it before Chamisha Asar B'Av. They had to prepare themselves already earlier. And they're doing it not for themselves, they're doing it for the Beis Hamikdash. So they gathered wood, they could have kept it for themselves for their own korbanos, and they're giving it for the Yidden, and for which Yidden, even for people that are doing korban chatos, for every single Yid. And the Rebbe says that similar to that was Rabbi Leivik, that although he was such a high person, he went down and he dealt in Mesiras Nefesh with the people in his town to chazek the Yiddishkeit. So Rabbi Leivik was involved in these deep in Yonim and Kabbalah, and nevertheless, he got involved with the Yidden, with Mesiras Nefesh, the most project of Yidden. And it's not all though, if you look at it in a deeper way, it goes together. In other words, the idea of seeing the Yonim and Kabbalah's chat, you see for real that everything in the world is guided by the Eibush at every specific detail. So that's really what the world's about. So you can relate to the world in a normal way with that mindset. It doesn't demand detachment from the world. On the contrary, if this is what the world's really about, so I could deal and I could accomplish and I could be mechazik hidden, whatever level they are, to live this, to connect to this. So we're on the lower part, we're in the receiving part. We're like this Pashat Yidden. But it means that we could take that mindset into our life, even though it sounds like so high, so beyond our capacity to be able to relate to every event in our life, to every event around us, that it's all from the Eibush, for the Eibush, to be mechazik ourselves and others in Avodas Hashem. But we know we could live with the fact that that's the way it is, and therefore we could behave that way. Chaim.
Before we continue, just one more thing. I want to say there's also this Farbrengen is also in honor of our Chashuv Mispalo and Gabbai L'Shelahova, which is the Gabbai forever, and Shmuel Koslovsky, which is his family moved down to Israel. He just moved up to Israel, and he should have Atzlacha and Aleph
We said before about that the Abish is Menachem and everyone to every single place. And we said before that Menachem Yivchar Hashem means that every place a person is, if he's heading, if he's thinking to go to Eretz Yisrael, with Mashiach, and it makes the place a Menachem Yivchar Hashem. If a person has the right mindset, the mindset that everything is from the Eibishter in order to bring Mashiach, in order to make the world a place for the Eibishter. So every place becomes a Menachem Yivchar Hashem. He automatically relates to it as a place that he could and he will and he has to make it more relatable to Eibishter, more of a Menachem for the Eibishter. We say Chassidim sagen sich nicht, because wherever they are, they're alle zusammen, always together. There's this, if someone's in his place, he's settled there because of the comfortability, because of the surrounding, as a goal for itself. So what's the connection to someone else? But if it's all Menachem Yivchar Hashem, it's all heading to the same direction. We're trying to make it a place for the Eibishter now in the last minutes of Golos in order to bring Mashiach. So it's the same place. We're all in the same place. That also means that the attitude is that every place could and has to be a Menachem Yivchar Hashem. A person's own house, a person's surrounding, wherever it is, Elam Hazah cannot have a say. and say that that today in whatever situation you can't demand, you can't make that people actually care and live and feel and what's their values, their direction is what the Eibishter wants. That's what they live with. That's what they care about. It's hard today. People are not that interested, and therefore we settle on other standards. If a person has the mindset that the Eibush is Machai, everything the whole regga, brings everyone to a place every moment, because that's the place for his avodah, and that's where he could accomplish to make it a makim she'ib Hashem. So he's going to do it. How? Fine. That's already a technicality. How we can actually do it is a mindset. The difference between not a makim she'ib Hashem, that a person settles in that place, that means that he's a makabel from the place. He comes to a place, and whatever situation there is doesn't affect him. When you make a makom Hashem, then it's dark and lichvish. You're coming to conquer the place. To conquer the place means not you personally. To conquer the place, to bring in, as a shliach of the Eibishter, to bring in the kedusha into that place, bring in what the Eibishter wants into that place, you're a shliach for that. And therefore the place doesn't have a say. You have a say in the place to bring in more. Not as someone above, not as someone better, but as someone that's trying to bring in something real, something greater than him into the place. The Rebbe was madgish that the Gabi Afotz. The idea of Afotz is that Yiddishkeit is real. This is sakon, and therefore you might want to protect yourself. But Yiddishkeit is real, and it has to reach every single Yid. And therefore, there's no such a thing that because of the situation, I won't do what's real. There's a situation, but I have to get Yiddishkeit to everyone. So that's the Gabi, every single Yid. And the Gabi ourselves as well, the Gabi the Sliva, that the bringing in a Ruach, say of the Torah, say of Yerushalayim, say of Mitzrayim, of other people being encouraged in spreading Yiddishkeit as much as we can, is something which is definitely doable because the Eibush is running the world. The Eibush is Machaya V'Dita. Whatever happens to me is Milamaylo for my avodah. So for sure I can do this. How is already a technical detail? Where do you start? You start slowly, etc. But there's a certain mindset. But that mindset, you say that tefach hechen. You stand high that the situation doesn't pull you down. You're a balabos of the situation. You're moisif, and you're explosive, and you're parsviva. You relate to people in a way that they definitely are keli for Rebbe's Ashir, Rebbe's Avord, Rebbe's Farbrengen, or for more of a hidden mitzvah, more of a diuk in mitzvahs. It's something which you know that definitely it could be done and it will be done because it's a mokim Hashem Hashem. Definitely a mokim Hashem in the time of Golos, if we can't see Hashem as a brachos. We're mishtatif with everyone that makes a lot of Yiddish Yichsidish kehillas wherever. But then there's the Tzeieschem l'sholem that there's the chibur with those that are here. So there's the avodah that was done here, and that's that mamshich. I can't see Hashem as a bracha. Is a mokim that the Rebbe's place, and the Rebbe wants the Regoyim Acharim and Golos that it should be a place that the bracha of the Eibishter is nikir, that the Rebbe's place is nikir, and that's a mokim Hashem Hashem that brings us. That's a mokim from where we go to the Giyul. So for sure, that's something that's doable, that's done, and can be done even more, and can conquer even more. The Chsidish Ruach, Chsidish Farbrengen, Chsidish Shiurim, here and in other places to make more of a positive vibe, of a kedusha vibe, is something which is doable. Not just doable, will be done. It has to be done because it's a mokim Hashem Hashem. It's not that I settle on what's going on and where I'm comfortable and that's it. But that is, I'm here to bring in something which the world doesn't have bigoli. The world is here for that, but it doesn't have a bigoli. I'm here to bring it in. But there's a fotzes hayadus around here, wherever can, wherever they can reach in Mitzrayim. There's a lot of work that could be done, and gosh, definitely people do. But I'm saying that's something which definitely can be done with the ganze Tzeieschem. See, if a person knows that it's a mokim she'yiv Hashem, then you can never let a chalishus of the massive of the situation controlling him. Rather, you always know that the massive could be and has to be made in a way that it's be a mokim she'yiv Hashem. Chaim. Even though I didn't prepare a speech, they tell me what to say. Anyway, I want to wish beide Slate Avek Mushulo, Chaim, Shana Mokem, Shana Maldu, we're going to miss you, no matter what. And hopefully, Suzaini, what I tell you, come back. No.
Shani Moke, Jose Motzlerlein, Asacha Geffen, Zun, Parnos, Nachet, Sloche. You're always welcome to come visit. I'll give you my garage if you want.
You're gonna come visit him. He's going to
I'll
go to the
be there with you. Hi.
The Eibishter gives Eden brachas, and then there's another word afterwards, klala, and the Rebbe says that the Targum Yedison translates that to chilufa. Chilufa means something to be switched. That's the way the Rebbe teaches it. The simple translation is the opposite. The chilufa, the opposite. The Rebbe translates it something to be switched. The Eibishter Milamala gives only brachas. It is a difficult situation. It's there in order to switch it. Like I said before, if you have the right outlook on things, you see how the Eibishter gives things, how he's puts Yidden in their situation in order to accomplish something good, then every situation there has to be the bracha. And when there's something difficult, it has to be that it's a situation that's there for me to bring out the bracha with it. It's not so clear. I have to bring it out. And when I bring it out, it's a much stronger bracha, a much deeper bracha, much higher bracha. In every situation, you have the bracha. When a person gets himself used to seeing Hashem's brachas, it helps a lot. When a person in his own life and people around him sees ba'ayin toiva, sees the positivity that there is, begashmis, persons that's slacha begashmis, and whatever issues he might have, he could look and he could see the things that he's mitzliach and that he has, the Eibishter gave him, whether in yonim of gizun, whatever it is. The inyanim that he does have outweigh the inyanim that he doesn't. People around him also, you can see a lot of toiv. A lot of Yidden that are mischazik, that are learning, that are davening, that are koyel inyanim, shlichus, amitzayim, whatever it is, or whatever, even the close area, if you look behind toiva, you could see in every single person, with the bracha of the Eibishter is brought out in him. Aderech is a person in himself. People can have different ways that they can look at themselves. Either they have, like, to criticize themselves and find that things are not the way it's supposed to be, or to overlook, and not care. It's the middle one, to see the true valuable things a person has, to see the mindless that he has, the pulus tavis that he does, and then based on that, if there are things that aren't the way fitting with that, I have to fix it, because if I'm shaykhed it, if I accomplish so many good things, then everything else should fit in that also. So then he started with the bracha, and then with the bracha, you see there's some things I have to change over, have a chilufa. I have to be able to change over to the positive side. That's what it's there for. That's what I'm able to do. That's what I will accomplish. Rebbe a lot of times says that when a person speaks, the dibur, it brings out the good. So you see that in Lashon Hara, we say the problem is that it brings out the negativity of someone. If you speak about the good of someone, then it brings it out. It makes it begili. A person to himself, before talking about it, even thinking about it, paying attention to it, also brings it out. A person to himself, people around him, if a person allows himself to pay attention, then it brings out the bracha in him. It brings out the bracha in people around him. It brings out the bracha in every situation. It has a very positive effect. If a person sees the good about someone, he'll talk about it. And then he doesn't see the negative in someone, he doesn't talk about it. And then he sees if he sees something negative, he sees that something that he could fix, that's the way he talks about it. person changes his focus, it has an effect on all the details. Chaim. There's a famous story with Rabbi Levi about this Nikuda also, about seeing the good in someone. Famous story with the Chassan. He was looking for a tent for a minion for the chuppah, and there's a hidden chuppah in his house, and they didn't have a tent for a minion. He sent someone to call the Yid, which is a supervisor from the KGB, on the building, a supervisor, to see what Rabbi Levi is doing. Be able to report to the KGB, told him to knock on his door to invite him as a tent for a minion. Whatever, he was shocked in the beginning. It's interesting, there's a video of someone saying it over, someone that was a Russian that was there by that chuppah. But Rabbi Zachar also writes it in her memories, in her memoirs, in the Zachrenis. That he called him, and he was shocked, but he came, and they made a sheen in the Torah. He was able to see it in the fact that when they investigated him, he said good things about the blade. He didn't report anything negative. And that was as a result that he called him. In other words, he didn't stop calling. He saw in him the Yid, and by calling him in, he brought it out in him, and through that attack, he made the Shinu L'Toiv. That's B'chad, the Rebbe brought up yesterday of Soim, of what's Sayadus, is then the Kudah, to see the Yid, and therefore you bring it out in him. And therefore the way a person comes to talk to a Yid is not Chilu in the sport from that person. As a grace, I don't know what, he's a chashuv person, and I have to impress him. Contrary, he has something in him that he doesn't know about. And I know about it, Baruch Hashem. And I want to tell him about it. So you come with that inner toikim, not outward toikim, but inner toikim. You come to him and you tell him, and you say, Yid, it's more important than anything else you have. And the mainly you could do a mitzvah, you could be miscarried more. Well, as a person himself also, he puts aside everything else and he finds the Yid in him. Mela is able to do poyo, he's able to improve. He looks and he brings out the nekuda that it's me and takes away all the alamas best thing. Before people travel away, they make a Tzeieschem Farbrengen. The Gemara it says that before people travel one from another, they should depart with a Dvar Halacha. So Farbrengen is like a Dvar Halacha. It's something which keeps a person going. Farbrengen is something, you say God in Chassidus. Farbrengen on one hand is a time when people go above themselves. It says B'chlal when the people daven, then if you daven alone, not necessarily the Eibishter will take it. If you daven with tzibur, the Eibishter is going to take it. Now, if you have 10 people, which each one alone, Hashem wouldn't accept their davening. And the davening together, why does it add up that Hashem should accept the davening? What is it better? So the point is, when 10 Yidden are together, is kilo the tunu of like going above their personal themselves. What's left is the common denominator. The common denominator is the neshama, the yid, and that Eibishter accepts. If a person is stuck with himself, a person has his own milas, his own personality, and that's what he's focused on. He wants Hashem to accept the davening from that. He won't necessarily accept it. But if a person is letting go of that, and he comes 10 people together, 10 Yidden together, and then they daven, Hashem accepts it. So Tzeieschem Farbrengen is a similar thing. You can get together, and you let go of your personal thing, and you get together. You get together, we're all chassidim, and that's what we're focused on, the common thing together. Now that itself is done in a way of Gedoyel L'Gim Hashem Mekareves. You have food, you have l'chaim. You don't just have sitting together and learning. It's also a ma'ila Tzeieschem, and then there's a Farbrengen when we eat together. We talk together in a light mode. And the point is that going above yourself, come together with other Yidden, to be mechazik each other, to be married each other, is something which relates to the regular person. By davening, it says that by davening has to be libi l'maylo, ve'ino l'mata. By davening, he has to focus on the Eibishter, but he has to remember that has to affect later on in the day. Naturally, you won't. Even if a person is davening properly, once he finishes davening, he's in a different mode. By davening, he's not supposed to think about anything about his whole day, whatever he's busy with. So he's like, in a holier mode. And he finishes davening, and he's back to himself. That's what he's supposed to do. Yeah? By davening, he's supposed to be Mesidas Nefesh. Forget about everything, what's going on in the world, what's going on in your life. Yeah? Phones and everything you put aside, and you're davening. Only davening. But that's supposed to be that way. But then there has to be a time when that's going above yourself to go and become part of the regular life. And that's the Farbrengen. Farbrengen is that we're going above ourselves, and it's still becomes part of ourselves. We take another Chaim, and we take a Bisson Parbaisen. We take that going above ourselves, caring about something more important, more real, caring about the Eibishter, caring about the Rebbe, caring about Chassidus. We take that and make it more part of our regular life. And that's something which can keep a person going. That's a Devar Haloch. Wherever you are, you're not stuck in your situation, in your place, in your changes, in your technicalities. You're going above that, but you can walk with it. You can live with it. It becomes part of your life, part of your day-to-day life. It's part of it. It's not just something going above. That's how you put it. Let me take Devar Haloch and this Farbrengen. And that makes it wherever you go, you can be a mahalich. You can only be a mahalich to grow properly if you're not stuck, you're not affected by your place. Rather, you're standing above and you're growing and affecting in the place you are. That's a Devar Haloch. Farbrengen is a Yesod Godom Chassidus. Baruch Shem Chassidus Yeshul, Chassidus Farbrengen. He brings I was just seeing recently the Psicha the Frierdiker Rebbe. The Tzeieschem Shul, that's the Tzeieschem Shul, the Tzeieschem Rav, the Tzeieschem Gabe. Not just the Nusach. And suddenly the fact that the Varnum can be a Tzeieschem Varnum. Farbrengen brings a Tzeieschem Varnum. And that's something which makes a person have a Devar Haloch. He can walk, wherever he is. That's the Ruach Chaim that keeps Chassidim going. There's another story of Levi about, I don't remember the details. But also the same idea of seeing the good in the Yidden that was in Kippur. And in Russia, not to go to work wasn't so simple. It was a Korf nefesh not to go to work. They look after you, they can arrest you, whatever it is. So Yidden went to work on Kippur. Not everyone, but there's a lot that went. They fasted. They went to work. And they wanted to come to Shul. They had an early minyan. And in Kippur, for those going to work. And they came back from the Ilah. Wow. At the end. And they were crying. They hurt them. They didn't like to do it. And I believe they gave a drash. I don't remember the drash. But it was a drash of Chizk. The Eibishter loves the davening. How beautiful it is. Again, I remember the details. But it was like very much mechazik them, how special it is that they're coming to shul, to daven. Whatever situation they are. But again, to see the Yid, to see that the emes within the Yid, whether they should have gotten Mesidas Nefesh or not is another question. But they didn't do it willingly. They wanted, and they put in their most effort to come to the minyan before, and then to the Nila afterwards. It was very accurate, very much. Which states that we can't tell ourselves that it's enough to do less. And in the yak, when a person of the whole really wants to do it, suppose what he's supposed to do, he can. He does it, he admit that he could. Almost Mesidas Nefesh, it's tired by the Eibishter. Hi. Slow, Rabbi. Gosh,
the party just started. Bring it just started. The party ended. Bring it started. Fine.
Aron, when are you going to say your birthday?
Yeah.
If you wanted to say something, what would it be?
I should pass the opportunity.
Like you say Shabbos, you have maybe a low for how, good is good, fashion is better.
In your head, that's because you give a shit. That's because you give up very. That's because the show put up the people when you see it. Doesn't mean you should give up. I had a very simple thought process, and I don't think it's a bad idea. You don't see them not the Like moves are coming out. I want to take some to
The place is not supposed to make a person like a liver, like congeal, like kind of too calm, too complacent. However, a person is supposed to make his place shining, be covered to his place. In Golos, you can never have settlement. And if it is, people have to have menucha and nachal. People have to have whatever they need, whatever they have, whatever they need to have. Chov, riches and gesund and nachas. And nevertheless, a person is supposed to be happy and thankful to the Eibishter. And then b'chal b'simcha b'ayim tovim. And nevertheless, not to have that settling. It's fine. Sit back, relax. It's fine. It's nice. It's pleasant. Everything's good. Gewaldig. You don't need anything more. Because actually it's Golus, which means that we're not in a natural place. We don't, whatever we believe in, we don't live as a reality. As good as it may be, it's shiurim, it's a mikveh, a mikveh, and whatever, clean mikveh, yeah, and then and whatever this is, the Farbrengen, it's a gewaldig. But as the Rebbe would say, the ikar technisch uvkut the Mashiach is nicht gekommen, and the person has to realize he's here in a shlichus. He's here to bring in himself and the surrounding merlebedim. So the person always has to have that attitude. He gets too calm, and it's good, calm to be b'sholeh, b'shalve, b'simcha, 100%. And the person should not have any nisyonis, any troubles in any area. But nevertheless, it shouldn't be in a way of like COVID, that it's like it's fine, it's fine, nice place, nice surroundings, yishmak, and therefore I can just whatever. The person has to be a mahalik. Mahalik means he always sees where he can add in himself and others. What is there to add? Noch besser. It doesn't make a person unsettled that he can't appreciate what he has. He can't, speak calmly to someone. For sure he can speak calmly. But he's on the lookout. Where could I accomplish something more? Where could I add something? In a positive. If you give me a shlichus, you give me the koyach, I can definitely accomplish it. Forget it, it says that. It says, I have to yeschem, and therefore afkud aleichem. When there's no demands from someone, it's putting him down. It's saying what you are, that's what you have, and that's it. If you know that someone has so much more to him, then he'll take it as, he'll be offended if they'll tell him, it's fine. You can relax, enjoy life, it's good. If a person knows the Eitzes, the Eivish to put into a Yid, then he's happy with the fact that he can't do that. He's happy with the fact that he has to look out and see, I'm sure, something more to add in myself, in others, b'simcha, whatever, but the actual fact that there's a demand from him, that it's not enough, that he has to grow, is something which is supposed to make a person happy. There's much more to you than what you already brought out, and therefore look out to bring it. We could help out, mitzvah. We could be mishtatif in something, to be mechazik it. Moisef in yourself, another shir, another hidur. The person knows that his oitzer that the Eibush put into him is worth much, much more than whatever he accomplished till now. So then he's always going to add cover to his place, not in the way of I'm not good, I'm not good enough. It's like so much more in the place, so much more in me, and I can accomplish it. Hi. Who's on the office?
What's
Some
up?
parting words. Encouraging words.
Full of joy.
Story, good experience, good memory.
Well, all I can say is thank you for giving me an opportunity. I really have nothing else.
Good. Anytime.
Express, what was that opportunity? What do you appreciate it? Everyone took over you took over your jobs?
Baruch Hashem, not.
No. Baruch Hashem, Hashem. Train people in.
Slowly.
You want to say
Oh. His birthday was already, right?
Friday. Old news.
This is the Kayla.
Today we finished Sefer Ava and then we got the Day. So I'll say about this Rambam. For Chodesh Elul, the days the Rebbe spoke about strongly against people who use opportunity in Chodesh Elul to say to be Musar and to make people feel bad. The Rebbe very strongly spoke about it as the wrong thing to do. And the Rebbe brings out the point so strongly with this equivalent. The Rambam lists all the parshas of the Torah. He says the Haftarah you say for each parsha. And Parsha Shmos, the Rambam lists the Haftarah that we say, that according to the Rambam, he say is the Haftarah in Yecheskel Perek Zayin starts off with the Ibn telling Yecheskel, Hodesh Shalayim informed the people of Yerushalayim that there were abominations and negativity, and it says in the next passage, his father was a Kenani, his mother was a Chiti, referring to Aron Avinu was Canaan, and his son Menu was buried in Tzeieschem, and it's a strong Haftarah. Okay, that's what the Rambam says. Now, it says in the last Mishnah of Masechtas Megillah, well, there's 4 prakim, so it's the end of Perek Daled. It's in the Gemara, it's the end of Perek Gimel, but the last Mishnah says that it says the talk about Haftarah, and it says that Eliezer says that you should not say this part of the Chesed, you should not use this for Haftarah. It shouldn't be used. And Pashas is because it's not a covenant to the people of Yerushalayim. And the fact that the Gemara says a Brisa with a Maisa that there was a person who was called and given out a Liyah for Haftarah. I don't know what Parsha was, maybe it was Shemais, and he said this Haftarah as the Haftarah, Hagodah Yerushalayim, Perek Zayin Yecheskel. Eliezer turns around to him and says, Ad Sha'adek V'edek Yerushalayim Tzei V'edek B'imcha, something like that. Before you chastise Yerushalayim, go chastise your mother. Exactly. Yeah. So, and it says they did an inspection, they did a background check. Matzav Hashem et Tzipsul, they found a problem with his yichus. So the question is, the Gemara says, the Mishnah says, the Eliezer says, it's not like a machlokes between the Mishnah and him. A bunch of different opinions about what to do. The Eliezer says not to use this Haftarah, and he was a mice that someone went and used it, and it wasn't good. So it's very modern that we were passing. You could use Haftarah after such a mice. Why is it? According to the Rambam, why is the Gemara telling us a story? And if it does tell us a story, why would we pass? You could use it. So the explanation is that Rabbi Eliezer, we find something that's similar with him, with using, mice and nisim, things that are allowed to have to prove his point. Famous story in the Gemara with Tana Shalchanoi, the Tana that was cut like this, like the different levels, and they connected together with cement again. Is it Tomei? Is it not Tomei? So the Machlokes. So Rabbi Eliezer was sitting. I forgot which way he was saying Torah, but he said, if I'm right, let the walls of the base of Medrash cave in to prove it, and all kinds of nisim. And Taka Kachava, and Alpha became about Yeshua Mechanani said, "Lo b'shamayim," that we don't pass in that way. We don't pass him over there because you see that Ma'asen Nisim is not the way you pass in halacha. And who was the one who we do pass like Yeshua Mechanani? Yeshua Mechanani was famous for being more of an abrius in a way of treating people in a dakinam dakisholim, even a goy. Mashing Rebelezer, we see from those three stories. I guess and this is not explicit in the Sikha. It seems that Rebbe is trying to say that when the walls of the Beis Medrash cave in, that's not a very big convenience to people. And Al Derech this mice over here with this person, it wasn't the Mila of Dafka of Menachem Shmoyim. So that's why one of the reasons why the other opinion was Zeicha that we don't pass Rebbe Eliezer. But that makes sense why you're allowed to use the Haftarah in the Shemai. Why would the Rambam Dafka choose it though? You could use both. I have to use this one. So the answer is, according to Rambam, the Mila is that this Haftarah starts off with a negative way, with talking about the Averis of, or the negativity of people of Yerushalayim. But the Haftarah finishes off, Machal Sefer Yechezkel finishes off with a Mila in terms of the whole nevuah of the Bayis Shlishi. So we're taking something which is Divrei Musar and transforming it into a positivity. That's what the Rambam chose, Dafkas Haftarah. But still, there brings out the point is that you see that if this person said this Haftarah, and Alpha became, and he said it obviously it wasn't his own Baich story. It was a Divrei Nevuah. And Alpha became, this is the mice that happened, the negativity that's so careful we have to be about not pointing out the chesronos of another yid. Right?
That wasn't so good.
You get yourself a job as a speaker. Oh, you have one.
Right.
It's the share that pays the most. It's the talking that pays the most, you know. When you do it for free. The chavod. Chaim.
He's taking the real schar.
Giving the shir was one of the best things that happened to me, no question about it. 100%.
Yes, no.
By the way, Chabad.org now wants to put it on the website. Until now, they told me they emailed to me today, right?
Yeah, wow.
Until now, it was on the Apple.
This is
Oh, they could do it. Mama, we're starting to give it now.
This is unbelievable. By the way, he prepares.
This time around, I just started recording.
Tzeieschem blasen de Elvin. De Elvin. Yeah.
First attraction that is, it's when it becomes cooler. The elbow becomes Lubavitch, just like anywhere else. But on Lubavitch, automatically they translated the cooler temperature. Assume that it's El. Assume that for the children. And that's the whole life. Even the gashmistic things naturally are telling you it's time for truth. So those in the baggage, we have to feel it, and then we have to try to apply those in the whole room. How many years are you working here? I mean, it's a Kaddish.
How many years was I here in Shul?
No, as a Rabbi, as a...
What,
No idea.
4 years?
It's all just things are living in the Lubavitch is really takes. It's so boring. Nothing to do. Nothing to think. King's Pennsylvania. It's a cloud of nothing happening.
They share them every day. There's a share in the morning. There's a share in the night.
This guy talking about in Jewish time.
Yeah. I forget the thing that he's
Baruch
talking
Hashem,
about.
Ja, sitzen da auf der Tele. I'm gonna come next week to visit you. I'm gonna be near there.
By the way, there's a big
Which
Chinese
one is it?
stronghold right next door in Scranton. Oh, fuck, you can do it right there.
Yeah. Sending my youngest there for ship.
How old is he?
I don't know, you took care of him.
Oh, the youngest. So the day swimming. Not a bad school, actually.
That's what I hear. I don't want him ripping anybody's heads off, you know? Give it a year.
If he does, I'll send him to David's
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. The Rav there, with the father's Rebbe, she was in Providence. Fine.
Fine, yes.
Amen.
Amen. Okay.
We'll come once a week up. Fridays, but
What else?
come for Shabbos.
No?
This parsha talks about Hanukkah Eved When a person sends free his Eved he has to give him presents. So the Sifri says that when you give presents, give him double, give him a lot. Just like we need them out of Mitzrayim, Hashem gave them by Yetzias Mitzrayim, by Kriyas Yamsuf. Give them also a lot. Similar to that, a different thing, Rabbi Leivik says in his Aron of the Gemara about Hanukkah. He says that Yosef, when he went out of prison, he also got Hanukkah. He got from Pari, the Revidzov, Al Tzavore, all those things. The main thing was that Gabriel taught him Shivim Loshin. The present has to come from the master, so he got Osnas. Osnas was Osnas, his wife, was the daughter of Potiphar. The Rebbe asks a simple question. The halacha is a few things. First of all, that only a Jewish master has to give Hanukkah, and you have to give animals, things that reproduce. Money, silver, gold. You can't. It's not that. It has to be something. Huh? Land. It has to be double shishbi bracha. Things that reproduce. Go to the Shav, whatever. So how could you compare the two things? Was it by parity? With a big zov? It's not a double shishbi bracha. The Rebbe says that there's two parts to Hanukkah. There's the fact that the master has to give, and the fact that the slave has to receive. In order for his freedom to be complete, he has to receive. He has to receive a present. So the fact that it has to be a yid.
He can be Muslim.
Huh?
He can be Muslim.
I don't know. The point is that there's an union of receiving. So in receiving, the fact that it has to be something that reproduces is because the master has to give something which will last. But the Eved, when he gets free and he receives a present, even if it doesn't reproduce, his freedom is complete. So there's Hanukkah, and it can even be on things that ain't been bracha. And that's why in Mitzrayim, you can learn from that. Oh, so what do we learn? That the Aron could say, I gave enough. From my giving, I gave enough. But they tell you, no, you have another chiyuv. Besides you giving, he has to get. And we look at Mitzrayim and we see, what does he have to get? Double. So you have to give him double. Give him twice. Well, there's a Yosef went out of prison, so the main thing that was the opposite was that he became a Mishnah Melech. And who accomplished that? Gabriel, that he taught him the Shivim Lashon. So he was able to come and the Mishnah Melech. The fact that Paroi gave him the Poil appointed, it was a technical thing. Just after Gabriel made him able to become a king, Mishnah Melech, so he became a Mishnah Melech. Why does he have to receive from the master Osnas? Because again, the fact that the master himself gave him the opposite of enslaving him is again the full freedom for the slave. Then the Rebbe's father explains it up in Kabbalah. I don't remember the details. The word is that the Hanukkah is Amshachas HaMoichin. The idea of Moichin. person's an Eved. The Eved serves the Eibush, and we have Avdus. The way that doesn't really appreciate it. But when he goes free, so then you give him that he does have a moichin, he has the akora in the likus. Now, the halacha is that Eved Kanani that goes free, you don't give him any hanok. Pashas, he's not supposed to go free. It's a rare thing that he does. Pashas, he doesn't. In Avedis Hashem, there's also Eved Kanani and Eved Ivri. Eved Kanani is someone who serves the Ibishter. Kabbalah serves. There's no feeling, no relationship, just, I know the Ibishter says I gotta do it. Which a lot of us can be most of us. Then there's Evet Ivri. Someone who serves the Ibishter but appreciates serving the Ibishter. So from serving the Ibishter in the way of Kabbalah Soil, it's Lo Ilam. It's always the same, it's always there. There's no going free from that. Because you're serving the Ibishter in a way of doing what he told you to do, Kabbalah Soil. And that always stays the same. You don't have a starting point to grow from, to get more akor, more das. If you serve the Eibush in a way that you appreciate serving the Eibush to have a divri, so then you can go free. You appreciate even more. So now it's not even a habit. You appreciate it. You're living with it. Nevertheless, Yidden in general are called Eved Divri. Even if technically a Yid right now is serving the Eibush just because Hashem said so, and he has no feeling for that, because that's the starting point. Really, by nature, he belongs to those that could appreciate. And therefore, he does have a hanok. He's able to grow and to get moichin. Every Yid, no matter where he's holding, is able to appreciate serving the Eibush, and then appreciate understanding and living with it. He's able to appreciate it. So even though we start off by serving the Eibush in the way of Kabbalah Soil of Evet Kanani, that has to be the foundation, and that doesn't change. But deep down, we're open for more. We're capable of more. And to the extent that we're capable of having the hanok, of giving this present, that our mind could be open, we could appreciate, we could understand a deeper relationship to the Eibush, and it's meant to be. The Eibush wants that. The Eibush wants your foundation to be. Hashem said so, and therefore I won't make mistakes. Not like Shaul, that because he went after what he understood, so he felt like the best thing is to elevate the lowest part of the Eibush, that's the best thing, but he didn't follow. The foundation has to be that the Kabbalah Soul stays forever. But nevertheless, there's a deeper part of you that could and is supposed to understand, relate, appreciate, and your king, David gives you the koyach for that. That's the fact that we learned that Yosef was given this hanokah, that the Menachem and the Mailu, and shaykh to every single Yid. Every single Yid is that Eved that could get this autonomy in the Mailu.
Bezrat Hashem. Let's get people look.
Siva Shana Kaiva Mesuka Siva Shana Kaiva Mesuka Siva Shana Kaiva Mesuka Siva Shana Kaiva Mesuka Siva Chasimatayva Shanatayva Humisukak 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 Siva Chasimatayva Shanatayva Humisukak
There's already Yidden who are not allowed to moving in the area, I think. So there's Muncie people. So they're going to become a place you have a lot of